सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा। संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम बचन। काज सकल तुम साजा, और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमृत जीवन फल पावे। चारों युग परताप तुम्हारा, पर सीध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता, असवर दीना जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। सीताराम जय जय राम, 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 सीताराम जय जय राम। तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुवरपुर जाई, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई। और देवता चित न डरे, हनुमत से सर्व सुख करे। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सिमरे हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाई। जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई, छूटई बंदी महासुख होई। जो जहाँ पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होया सीधी साथी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, जय नाथ हृदय महादेरा। पवन तनय संकट हरना, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसो सुरभूप। मंगल मूर्ति मारुत नंदन, सकल मंगल मूल निकंदन। मंगल मूर्ति मारुत नंदन, सकल मंगल मूल निकंदन।
श्री राम जय जय राम, ओम 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 श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम। ओम श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम। ओम श्री राम जय जय राम, 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 श्री राम जय जय राम, Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Sita Ram Jai Jai Ram. Sita Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Sita 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 Ram Jai Jai Ram.
सियावर राम चंद्र पद जय शरणम. सियावर राम चंद्र पद जय शरणम. सियावर रामचंद्र पद जय शरणम. सियावर रामचंद्र पद जय शरणम.
Namaste. Just some small announcements. Today, so he'll be here outside the Satsang hall 10 minutes before and after Satsang. If anybody has any needs, please go to Shiv and preferably communicate in writing. There's a paper and pen. There were some people who asked for some basic toiletries and things like that on the first day of Satsang. Come and they're in my room in 103. So please come and collect them after Satsang.
Namaste everyone. Warm welcome to Satsang this morning. Sadhguru Sri Muji Ji ki Jai. Firstly, the rumors of my demise are greatly exaggerated. There was a post on FB yesterday evening. Somebody posted on my wall, "Brother, you passed away and I'm missing you." And and my family started getting calls. And some of the Sangha members got worried also. So yeah, maybe it was a prank or they mistook the Facebook ID or something. This is a recording. If you're seeing this, this means that I'm already. Yes, yes. Somebody posted saying, "Brother, I miss you because you passed away. And I'm crying," and something like that. Someone on my timeline, they posted on my Facebook page. They posted like that, and then some people in the Sangha and some family members started getting calls. It's okay.
It must be the ego, which wanted now more.
Nobody here. No? Let's start with some verses from the Ashtavakra and then we see where it goes. So let's see if we can cross 11 today. We are on verse number 7, where the sage says, "You are the solitary witness of all that is, forever free. Your only bondage is not seeing this." It's a very beautiful verse. Every word has been put in this scripture with a lot of care. And if you just read it like this itself is very beautiful. But when we unpack it now, you'll see how much beauty there is in this verse. You are the solitary witness. You, it is not talking to anyone but you, because you are all there is. The solitary witness. It doesn't say you are the witness. It says you are the solitary witness. But for the mind, this is a very scary idea. It's a very lonely idea. That if I'm alone, then that is the worst thing. But actually, it is not speaking to the mind in that way. It is speaking to that from which all things arise, all beings arise. So it is not lonely, it is the opposite of lonely. It is full of this potential for experiencing this realm. So solitary is not bad news. Solitary shows you that all of this is one. This is one seeing, which gives rise to one being, one witnessing, in which this one being is born. And that is who? It is you. Now, all of this is about you. You are projecting this dream to play the game of waking up right now. So he says, you are the solitary witness of all that is. This is also a very important line. You are the witness of all that is. That means that which you witness now is all that is. You are the witness of the entire phenomenal universe. You are the solitary witness of all that is. So all that is just this. Just like in the dream, you might have a dream which is there, you are surrounded by people, and then you get a newspaper which says that in New York, this is what happened. You see? So, is there a dream New York? Only if you decide to then project it and witness that. Till that doesn't happen, it does not exist. I know it's a bit much for the mind. So, all that you are the witness of is all that exists. So, this phenomenal universe is playing within you, and this is all that is. So, you are the solitary witness of this, forever free. It's not possible at all to be bound. We made it through 3 lines, is not bad.
So there's no inside and there's no outside.
There is no inside and outside in reality. Yes. You mean the body boundary?
Body boundary. When I say I'm the witness of that which all there is,
Yes.
it mustn't be a concept for me.
Uh,
It must be real.
Say again. It's just a
It
concept
mustn't-
right now.
It mustn't be a concept right
It
now.
mustn't be a concept.
It must be real.
Okay. The first part is clear that you are the solitary witness.
Yes.
Yes. It is the second part which is causing trouble of all that is. Is that it?
There's only seeing.
There's a seeing,
There's
which
only
is
seeing.
the solitary witness. And then what part is just conceptual?
There's no entity that is seeing.
Yes.
It's vastness that is seeing.
Acha.
But that's still, that is not, it is not very clear. Huh?
Yes. Yes. Okay, maybe your question could imply 2 things. First is that the solitary witness, he says. It said solitary witness. And sometimes when we hear the word witness, we can imagine or conjure up an idea of an entity that the witnessing belongs to. So this witness has the power of witnessing. But actually there is no witness per se, it is only the witnessing. You see? So awareness, although it sounds like a noun, it is actually just a verb. There is no seer, it is just a seeing. You are not a thing. The witness is not a thing. You see? Because if it was a thing, then even that would be witnessed. You see? All that has attributes. To say that something has an attribute, it must be seen, isn't it? You see? So this seeing itself, you see? So this witnessing itself actually has no size. Even to say vastness, although we say that in satsang sometimes, is not accurate. Because it does not conform to any paradigm of time and space at all. Time and space come much later. I often call them the grandchildren of awareness. You see? So to say it is vast or small, both is not true. It does not operate in spatial terms at all. This awareness that you are aware of now, what is the size of it? Is it vast or is it small? Can you check and tell me? The awareness that you are aware of now, is it vast or small? Huh?
I'm feeling I'm not there yet.
That's a thought. Throw that away. Are you aware or no?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So, this awareness, what is the size of this? What is the shape of this? Is it space? Is it a void? Does it have a color? Don't get sidetracked. Whether you're there, whether you're worthy, all that, keep that aside. You're here now, check. You are aware. What are the attributes of this awareness?
You cannot say there's an attribute.
Cannot
It's
say
not.
there's an attribute.
It's non-phenomenal. You cannot place a label on it.
Is this your direct experience now?
Yes.
Good. Who is aware of this awareness? Say on the mic. He had the mic up, and when we were speaking, he kept the mic down. It's the other way around. What happened?
It's aware. Awareness is aware.
Something sounds unconvinced. What are you really feeling about it? You, other way.
I asked this question because there is a doubt.
Yes.
I have to ask this question.
Please.
Am I aware now? And then I have to ask another question to check. And who's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
yeah? So then it's clear.
Yes.
It's sometimes it's very clear,
Yes.
but then sometimes there's effort needed.
Yes.
So there is a frustration at that time. Yeah.
Without any effort, what is here? If you dropped all effort, then nothing is needed. So what you actually could be saying is that I have a give effort to my person, but when I have to make an effort to break this habit, then that seems frustrating to me.
Yeah, it's a habit.
Is it?
It's so simple. It's so easy.
Yeah.
But the mind kicks in, and the habit. I
Okay,
say.
so easy. Don't say that all belief is self-limiting. What you're seeing is that it is so easy and simple. But then the belief comes and says, but the mind comes. Don't buy any of this story. So all stories are propaganda, isn't it? Something is still itching to say, but something. No. Happen every day, isn't it? Okay, so the sage said, "You are the solitary witness of all that is, forever free." And then he says, "Your only bondage is not seeing this." Okay. So if you're forever free, how can you have bondage? I've answered this earlier. What does it mean? If he already said you are forever free and he's speaking absolutely, there can be no doubt about what he's saying. But he just gave us a potential for one doubt. He just said in the previous line, you are forever free. And in the next line, he says, your only bondage. This. What could it mean? How could that means what? Actually, a denial of what is. Completely right now, that you are the only witness right here, right now. But the denying and going with our imagination
projected phenomenal world.
Yes.
But
So this is known
this
that it is a projected phenomenal world.
yes.
Now consciousness, would it have a limit in terms of what it can project? Or unlimited? What is your experience?
The projection is unlimited.
Is unlimited.
But can I ignore it because I'm there, right? And this
Okay,
has
now
happened.
this I is a different one.
This is a person. I've gone.
So don't go there. Just business.
Yes.
Because
There's no problem.
there's yes.
Since I'm on this worldly plane,
Huh.
my problem
But
comes.
in that worldly plane, you can also see time, even in those realms. You see? So you see that not just these objects, but also time and space are projections of this one consciousness. This much is seen, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
Just to make it clear, I'll give you an example. My children, they go to school at 7:30 in the morning.
Yes.
So went to school at 7:30 in the morning, said bye pa. I was still sleeping, so I said bye and went back to sleep. I had a dream. Then presumably that was the dream and this was not. But you can know it is the same actually. But I had a dream where I grew up in some town and I had the entire lifetime. And then I had to meet my wife somewhere. And I was half an hour late for that meeting. And I remember getting panicky about that and, you know, things like this. And then, so the entire lifetime passed. And then I woke up again in this realm when it was 8 o'clock.
Right.
So between that seeming 7:30 and 8 o'clock, one entire lifetime passed through. So it was completely clear that not only is space in even the dream project, these manifest universes. Now the universe actually would be no fun, to put it quite bluntly, unless you're able to relate to the character, isn't it? Now, if you go for a movie or you read a book and you find all the characters completely unrelatable, then do you enjoy? No, isn't it? So what happened is that consciousness, to get really enjoy this play, taste this play as if something is happening to it, also provided this sense of this mind. It gets this belief, so it makes it relatable. This is happening to you. It makes you believe that something is happening to you in this play. It makes it believe that the movement of this body is your doing in this play. It makes it believe that these thoughts which are arising and going, you are thinking them. You see? So it enjoyed the play for some time like this, tasting all the ups and downs, enjoying the story. But there comes a point where it says, okay, now I'm done with this play. You see? But even the exit route, it didn't just say, okay, urge comes, finish. It wanted to play with that also. You see? It wanted to play how it exits from the play. And therefore it created all these various paths. Karma Yoga, Hatha Yoga, Jnana Yoga, you see, all these various missions and paths were created because all part of the same play of getting out. So the play of getting in, now the play of getting out is happening. You see? Now, from this perspective, what is the question?
Yeah. The play of getting out is happening.
Yes.
But the question still
Yes,
is that what there is a reaction to, say, this projected war between India and
Yes,
Pakistan
yes.
that may happen,
Yeah.
may not happen.
Yeah.
The person is involved. Is consciousness also involved?
Huh.
That's what I'm getting stuck.
Okay. So we don't find the person
Yes.
when we look.
Yes.
When we look, what do we find? We find consciousness. I am. But consciousness has some powers. We talked about it yesterday. The power of attention, the power of belief. What is this power of belief? Have you looked at it? Let's look together. It's very interesting. You see, what is the power of belief? I just am, and yet I have the power to believe what? Can I believe an object? Let's look together. If this object is in front of you, can you believe it? There's nothing to believe in it. It is just seen. You see, but you can
I
believe.
use it. It's
Huh?
a tool.
Huh? The label came tool, and you can believe that label. The label can come iPad, and you can believe that label. But unless that concept comes, the thought comes, the label comes, there is nothing to believe or not. This much is seen. We can keep it slow. I know I talk fast.
No. I'm just wondering, am I abdicating my responsibility?
We'll get there. We'll get there. Just when the building blocks are clear, then the later conceptual things can be easily answered.
Yes.
So right now you see that objects are appearing and disappearing, but belief only operates on an interpretation of an object.
Yes.
You with me? You see?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
and the object can be seemingly external,
Yes.
or the object can be seemingly internal, which means you could be feeling a emotion, a sensation, a pain. You see? In either of these cases, external or internal, the power of belief only works on the interpretive mind. This labeling that happens and the ideas that come about something, the belief can only operate on these.
Yes.
With me?
Yes.
Okay. So what happens now when we pick up a belief about something? You see? So something happens, we read that a appearance happened, and we say, the mind comes and interprets it saying this is very good. But it could also have said this is very bad. You
Yes.
see?
Yes.
Now the power of belief then comes into play. You see? So when we say allow it to go, means we are not believing it. Just allowed to come and go.
Yes.
You see? But to give it some meaning, this is very good or this is very bad, means to give it some value. You see? So then what happens is that the problem is not in the very good or very bad, is in the presumption already which is bought that for me personally, this is good or this is bad. You
It's
see?
relevant. It's important.
It is relevant, it is meaningful, it is important.
Yeah.
You see? So whether we are saying yes, yes, or we are pushing it aside, either it becomes a desire or it becomes an aversion, it is actually the same thing. Both is the use of this power of belief. You see? Now suppose that this power of belief was not there. Then how would your day-to-day experience be?
Wonderful.
Wonderful. You see this already, isn't it? No matter what the events are happening, things are going on, the interpretive mind still comes with its ideas of things, but it just comes and goes without the power of belief. There can be no suffering possible, there can be no identification possible. So you already see that this is a wonderful way, isn't it? Why is belief a problem? It is because using this belief, it is this, okay, who is giving the belief before you even come there? You see, the presence was there, and then these powers started operating, attention, belief, all of these things. You see? So the power of belief, therefore, cannot belong to a person. It must belong to consciousness itself. You see? Now, what happens to consciousness when it believes something? Suppose the thought was, I am a bad person, or that is too blatant. Suppose the thought was that I'm not ready yet. I'm useless. Okay. I am useless. Okay. So the I am is true. I exist is not false. It is what you put at the end of that, which is I am useless. You see, once meaning is given to that, relevance is given to that, then what happens to consciousness?
It starts playing that.
It starts playing as if it is useless. You see, as if it is the attribute of itself. That is uselessness. So it's taken this concept which came up from the mind and added it to the basket of identity. You see, this is what we call conditioning. You see, so conditioning is nothing but this. I am remains pure, unassociated, and all that we have attached to it, using the power of our belief, makes up the person. You see? So person is nothing but a bundle of beliefs. You see? And when we look back at our life, we see this to be true. 10 years ago, you would have said, I'm this type of person, this type of person, this type of person. Today you might say, I'm this type. That has changed. So what has changed? The beliefs about ourselves have changed. Now, to be to be more and more into personhood, we have to add more and more conditioning. So all our self-help programs, all the skills that we are learning, everything, all of this makes us a certain type of person. You see, and we want to become better at being some type of person. How? By adding more and more concepts about that. You see? Now, in satsang, it is the reverse. We are saying we are ridding ourselves of all of these conditioning, all of these concepts, and coming to pure, unassociated being. You see, then these concepts start to fight back in some way because we nurtured them with great care in our basket. You see, so now you're looking at them as rotten apples. They'll say, no, no, I'm still useful. You see? So then it will say, but you are just avoiding responsibility. You see? You're throwing out all this concept of personal responsibility. As you're throwing it out, you're looking at the apple, and the apple says, see, you're just avoiding this. This is just a great way of avoidance that you found. You see? Uh-huh. So then what to do? Some of us, we are still able to look at that in the face and say, okay, out. You see? Some of us, it still has some bite and we get stuck over there. So what to do with that when it gets stuck over there? Then we use the message that it is telling us for our inquiry. Say, you are abdicating your responsibility is the message of the mind. Who is this you?
Doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. You see, therefore, what it is saying is false.
Yes.
If the you itself, the premise of the thought, doesn't exist, then the message must be false. The premise must be true for the message to be true. The premise is that there is a you that exists in that way. You are saying it doesn't exist. Then what to do with it? Throw it away.
Children are there still.
Huh. Who children are there? Like that. Yeah. Who is this me? See, your deepest conditioning will then start to show up. I've given everyone a free pass in the Sangha and said, don't fight with the mother identity. You keep it. You see? So that is then the mind also doesn't know what to do, because the mind will bring up this trump card of being a parent, being a mother, and say, see, now this one, you're still identified. I say you keep it. It will not get in the way. You keep it. Even animals have it. A small fox will fight with an elephant to save his children. So I don't want to get into the way of such primal belief systems. You see, you keep the mother identity. What else is there? Everything else can be thrown away. It will not get in the way of your freedom. Now, as your tree is empty of everything else, on only one branch is there. You see, the roots are being cut, everything is
So there's responsibility.
there is no abdication of responsibility. In fact, it is, what kind of mother would you like to give your children? Would you not like to present them with a mother who is free? Won't they be so blessed with your presence as you come to your unassociated beingness? Can you do some more for them personally? Or is your presence going to bless them more because it is the presence of the Sadguru itself which is unassociated? You see? And am I saying that any action has to stop or you have to just stay in bed all day? I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying that look, right now, that which has been pretended to be done by this person is not possible because no person actually existed. The actions can still move.
Yeah, so comes back to the doership
Yes.
thing,
Yes.
which you were talking about
Yes.
yesterday.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. But you see now that the end of the doership debate is to see that there is no personal doer anyway. Therefore, who must be the doer?
Consciousness.
Consciousness. Then ideas of what to do and what not to do we feel that we have to advise God on what should be done? The non-existent one should give God advice on how life should move.
Yes.
Because he will make a hash out of my life if I don't give him this advice. That is the feeling, isn't it?
No, the funny thing is, I've seen it again and again
Yeah.
and again that when he's doing it, everything just flows.
Yeah.
But that habit doesn't go. That
But
habit
that
I got the juices you get out of, that personal doership. I think
firstly, know that even the doing of personal doership, even the belief in personal doership is his doing. So in satsang, what is the point of satsang then? It is just consciousness having a monologue with itself. Acha, are you done with this play or not? But I will play a little more maybe. I'll buy my next thought. It's part of the play. There is no choice here or there. Sometimes we say, okay, bring it on, do it's like that. But sometimes just to get some juices flowing. But it's not. There's no reality to it. You see, it's just consciousness right now having a monologue, saying, "Buddy, what is your next move? What do you feel to do?" let's play a little bit. Sujata, Ananta, let's play a little more. Let's say like this. It's just a play. So ultimately, there is no way to force consciousness to stop playing as a person, because consciousness is all there is actually. So in this play, the seeming role that is being played here now is that of a teacher and a student, but actually there is no distinction. It's clear. No? So even the pretense of personhood, who is doing? Consciousness itself. So the dropping of the pretense of personhood, who must do? Consciousness itself. Consciousness is now playing the game, saying, come on, drop it. Come on, drop it. No, I can't drop it. No. It is just, suppose there were no other bodies visible and just this one came. You see? And this literally became a monologue like that. Yes, don't believe your next door. But the thought is talking about my children. Okay, drop it. Who is the mother? No, but I still feel like. Yeah. You see? It is literally like this. It is one consciousness which is moving, but it is feeling like because the voices sound different, they're coming from different bodies seemingly. It is not true. It is all of this is one movement in consciousness. You see? So just to give it more seeming reality, more bite. You see, what was the point of projecting all of this if it didn't have any bite or it didn't have any great joy? You see? That's why I refer to the books we like to read and the movies we like to watch. You see? Because all of them have some drama, something should happen to the protagonist, ups and downs. Nobody like to read a book which is, I woke up happy, I went to sleep happy. Next day, I woke up happy, I went to sleep happy. What is this? So if you don't even want to read a book like that, ultimately we don't want a life like that. We want the drama of enlightenment also. I went to this retreat and it happened for me. You see, or I went to this retreat and nothing happened for me. We want either drama. To just see that, what did I learn? That I've always only been that. There was nothing to do, nowhere to go. Doesn't sound an exciting enough end to the story. That's why often I say that if your novel was to end right now of the story of your life and it ended with a sputter, nothing happened. Very good, very good. So that if you're happy with the sober seeing like this, nothing has to change in the worldly realm. You see, no halo has to come, nobody has to fall at your feet. You just seen that it's just always been just this.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Some strong insight came. I don't know if it is strong, some insight. And I needed to went to the toilet, but I really needed. But I was hearing your voice somehow. And this thing about boundaries, also it was very strong for me hearing Raji and you were near. It was like something shaking me, like awake in the sense. You have here now the nectar, and you are. Why you choose the poison?
Yes.
And it came for me that you can be free now. It was like also you talking to me through Raji, and I perceived in that moment like you are. I don't know if it was in that moment, like the compassion. Your compassion allowing me to try everything and to do all the mistakes. And sometimes I getting how my mind is playing. Other times I don't know. Here in the retreat is coming more this thing about boundaries. Boundaries. Yesterday I was feeling too much tight and neutral. And I'm getting that I'm expecting for some kind of joy, for open to life with joy or with love. It's not there. Also I'm getting this. It's not that, also is mind playing. And today, yesterday I was feeling so bound, so tight, so in this prison of tightness. And it was seeming so real, the tightness and the tension in the body, making a prison. But when I awake this morning, I perceived the fear of come out of bed, the desire of go to sleep, and I had sleep enough and had a good sleep.
Good.
And it came the perception of the fear of no boundaries.
Yeah.
And I perceived this idea of be tight is an illusion, because now I'm not feeling tight and I'm afraid of being without any boundaries.
Yeah.
And now you are reading and she was talking, and it came like something is also Gopala was talking and something was here like in a restless. I was feeling everything like in a synchronicity. And it came like the universe as this expansion and contraction in my body.
Yeah.
And there are the strong idea that I will lose myself in the complete expansion, or I will lose myself. Also, some knowledge about psychotherapies are coming that were not in my conscience at all. They were not there. They were coming mixed with that perception. The fear of losing me completely in the total expansion, or the fear of losing me completely in the complete contraction, like big bang, big crash, big bang, big crash. And there are a point, like it seems there are a point of big stillness that makes the connection between us or behind.
Yes.
And I'd like to get this point.
And I'd like to get?
I'd like to get this point like the book, like the door. And it was so obvious that it's just about neutrality and stillness. Because before Satsang, I was feeling like about neutrality, but there are a big piece in it, not need to feel love.
Yeah. This is very good to see that.
Just there are frustrations. Yeah, this mind, okay.
It can come and go. Frustration can come and go. But in the neutrality, you find the neutrality of the truth is untouched by this frustration or joy or bliss. You see, the witnessing of the expansion and the contraction is untouched by the expansion or contraction. You see? So, as we are coming to this direct seeing that in reality my primary position is this witnessing itself, then this witnessing is always neutral. And yet in the play of its own aspect, dynamic aspect, consciousness, there can be a sense of expansion or contraction.
It's a complete illusion, the contraction and the expansion in,
yes,
in
from
this
the
point.
Yes, from the perspective of awareness, even the play of consciousness is a complete illusion. Yes.
This idea I will be lost in space, it's, it's just an idea.
Yes.
Or
Space
I will be lost
is within you. You see, space is within you, so you cannot be lost in space. If space is fearful that it might get lost within you, then we might listen to the space more. Then we can believe you saying, I can be lost in space. You see, because that which is within something else, that can get lost. That which is already everything cannot get lost.
Because also memories are coming with the therapy that I don't know if it is very mental. There are some primal idea of be connected with everything that it came some years ago in a therapy breathing. And somehow it's coming the connect.
If you are already everything,
I don't need to go
connect.
through story.
You can't connect because already you are everything.
Yes, but it was in that memory that were this perception, but it's just a memory anyway, or just a story.
Yes, because to try and love everyone or to connect to everyone or everything can seem like a lot of effort. But to come to this seeing that already everything is within me, or I am is everything. You see, then connection automatic, no?
Yes, also I want to go to the point where I was lost in the story, and it's not...
No, forget that, because
okay,
we are not resolving it for that one.
Mind playing.
Yes.
Okay, Father.
Thank you.
Okay. So just to go back to
yes.
until I sorry about that, but I am the solitary awareness or one or something.
You are the solitary witness of all that is, forever free. Your only bondage is not seeing this.
Yeah. Okay. So like I don't see that. I can appreciate it as a concept,
Yes.
but my experience right now is okay. I can experience being a witness,
Yes.
but not of all that is.
Yes.
That's what would be true for me.
Okay, so first let's just come to this clarity about this witness. It is clear to you that primarily you are the witness?
Well, no, most of the time, primarily.
No, right now,
Oh.
because most of the time is confusing.
Okay.
When you check back,
When I check,
yes.
the best or most truthful thing I can say is witnessing is happening here, but not witnessing of everything.
Yes.
It seems to be limited by the senses. So I can see ahead of me, but not behind me. Anything could be happening behind me. I have no idea. Like the curtains were brown when last I looked. Maybe somebody came in and changed them to green ones.
Yes, yes, yes.
So
we'll definitely get there as to what is there or not. First, I want to ground you strongly in this witnessing position, so that the rest of the conversation will make more sense. So you see that this witnessing, is it separate from you?
well, no, it is me, really.
It is you. Do you see that if you are this witnessing, then anything it might witness, any appearance might come and go. This witnessing remains unthreatened, unhurt, untouched by it, isn't it?
Yeah, that bit is fine.
This is very good. So already we see that the play of, that's why we call it a play of, if something cannot hurt you, it's more like we are playing. Right? So the play of this appearance in this world actually leaves awareness or the witnessing unconcerned, untouched, unhurt, no matter what might happen in the play. Firstly, this aspect is clear, isn't it?
It's clear right now.
Yeah, right now. Right now is all we can do. Actually.
Okay.
So now for this witnessing, you say that it is witnessing only part of the phenomena. That is the trouble, isn't it?
Well, that's the experience that I'm truthfully experiencing right now.
Yes. Now, how do you know that there is a part of the phenomena which is not being witnessed?
Well, it's a bit like it's highly unlikely that everything behind me and out of sight has disappeared. So it's a kind of a belief or a concept, but also to be probably validated by you, because probably I'm imagining there is still a wall and so on behind me, and you could verify that. It would be really weird if that was not the case.
Firstly, can you validate the existence of another in the first place? That you're seeing or the sounds that you're hearing in front of you. Can you testify to my being? Or can you only testify to your being?
But that's where it's really like a dream.
Yeah.
Because it's in a dream I create the world and the experiences, and they're all totally real, but actually they don't exist at all. So I can't really do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. It just seems highly likely that you probably do exist.
And it's completely fine, actually, because the core of the pointing is not to show you that there is no difference between the dream state and this state. That is not the core of this pointing, but it most likely will be an insight which will come to you eventually, because I've seen that most of us in Satsang, you see, start with the same sense that, what do you mean there's no wall behind me? You see, if I don't see it. As more and more insights come, this seems more and more clear that only what is seen here exists, just like a dream. And there's actually no difference between the dream state and the waking state. But we don't have to rush into that. So don't rush into any of that. Inquiry. becoming clearer and clearer that there is no person here. There is a sense of being which is here, and there is a witness of even this sense of being. There is awareness even of being. And fundamentally, primarily, I am this awareness. As you are recognizing yourself in this way and dropping all that was false and belonged to you personally, you see, then all the insights will not stop. They haven't stopped here till this day. You see. Yeah? Then what will happen is when you come across even scientific experiments, like Schrodinger's cat, you put a cat in a box and there is no observer. Is there really a cat there or no? You see? And then you make a tiny atomic size slit and pass one ray of light through the slit. Does that lead to the existence of the cat, or what is actually observed? You see? Then things like this. Then even what the sages have said in the past, who hears the sound of a falling tree in a forest where there is nobody? Is there such a sound at all in the first place? Then all of these will become part of your contemplation. You see? And it might be that you might one day say, but there is no actual distinction between a dream that I seem to have just a little bit earlier and this appearance. You see? And when it starts becoming clearer and clearer that actually all of this is the projection in the same way projecting, consciousness projecting, you see? And all our concepts about dream versus this so-called reality, we can look at and say, okay, but I have a memory of yesterday here. In a dream, there was no yesterday. I just wake up in the middle of something, isn't it? Like this can be an objection which comes from the mind. But when we look, we say that, yes, but we recognize those ones that were there in the dream. You don't wake up in a dream with amnesia and say, where am I? Who am I? You're leading your life. You see, so some memory is functioning even there. So step by step we can look at this. But again, I'm saying that is not the core of my provocation. My provocation is to look at who you really are. Is there a person here at all? What is really going on? You see? And if you start finding yourself more identifying with this sense of beingness, I am that I am, or more identifying yourself with that which is the witness even of this sense I am, you see, then this world becomes your existence, your play in this world will become one which is without suffering or just momentary suffering. You see? And when we are not so concerned about this me all the time, what's in it for me all the time, then you'll find that you have a lot more space to contemplate some of these deeper topics. What is the nature of reality versus a dream? You see? What is this consciousness that seems to be the light of this world? You see? These kind of insights. When the clutter of the what's in it for me is taken away, then more and more these become your true insights. You see? So if it seems a bit unnatural for me to say, unless you see something it does not exist, then leave it for now. Just stay with your truest nature. What are you in reality right now? That's why if the first part is making sense to you, that you are the solitary witness, you see, at least, okay, so one tip I want to give you is that here we go with what is being experienced directly and we don't presume anything. See? So we're not presuming what Petri next to you is doing or what is he's experiencing, what his eyes are seeing, because there is no way for us to validate that. We cannot even validate whether there is some reality to this appearance called Petri.
It seems like if we were the solitary witness,
Yeah.
then we would be able to validate everything because it's all happening to the one solitary witness. So there couldn't be anything happening that one wouldn't be aware of. It's
That's
like
what I'm saying.
omniscience. But I'm not feeling that.
Yes, so that's what I'm saying, that all that is happening is just this. Just about you. All of this is your game, your dream. You see? This is just, all of you are just dream characters which are appearing here, right? The play of satsang is to share what is being experienced here with the presumption that it is experienced there. You see? So I see that all of this is appearing in the light of the consciousness which is here. And every time I've asked anyone in front of me to check, and when they're open to checking, then they've also seen the same thing.
Yeah, I suppose the bit I'm not getting is that everybody is having that experience in the consciousness that is within which they are occurring.
What is the distinction between the everybody that is here and the everybody that you dreamed about in your last dream?
Well, I can't really tell. This is the truth of that one, you know, because that's what's becoming really obvious.
So till we can tell, because you know that at least you're clear right now that all of that was within that one consciousness, a projection of one consciousness. Is it?
Yeah, and an interesting thing is in a dream, you know, it's happening and I'm not aware it's a dream, and even the weird stuff is happening, it's perfectly acceptable, or it doesn't. But then sometimes I get a lucid dream, and then I suddenly realize, oh, this is a dream, and even though it is completely real feeling, I am totally convinced due to something that I'm aware of that, oh yeah, this is definitely a dream. So, okay, I'm just going to totally change my behavior now. Social restraints are all off and usually it's because my dad appears and he's not alive. So then I think, right, I've got to go and hug him, tell him I love him quickly, because usually I'll wake up 15, 20 seconds later. But what's interesting is you wake up and I wake up and even though nothing has changed, I'm completely convinced this is a dream. And now a question is occurring to me then, if I wake up in this reality, what does that start to look like?
It starts to look like a lucid dream. Same thing, no?
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Verse number 8. Ashtavakra says, the thought, I am the doer, is the bite of a poisonous snake. The thought, I am the doer, is the bite of a poisonous snake. To know I do nothing is the wisdom of faith. Be happy. So we talked about the 2 Ds yesterday, where we said doership is one of the strongest legs of the ego. And many times it's so funny that it happens even in satsang, that someone could come to complete clarity in that moment about who they are, and they can see there is no separation actually. All of this is one being, and they are primarily even the witness of that state of beingness. And what happens out of their mouth soon after that? Okay, now that this is clear, what do I do now? Isn't it? So now that it is clear that there is no separation, there is only one, all of this is consciousness. Even upon the recognition, the habit of doership seems to be so strong that very often I hear this in satsang also. So, okay, clear now. Okay, now what do I do? So the snake of the mind, the serpent, separation serpent, comes very quickly with this, okay, the sense of person is dissolving, but at least let's try to revitalize it. You see? Give it that, what do you call it? That the charge, giving charge. Resuscitate the person with that electric charge of doership. You see? Okay, now that it's clear, what should I do now? Should I start sharing satsang? Or start writing a book about my experience of enlightenment? You see? Then doership comes again and starts to grab us. So the sage says, the thought, I am the doer, is the bite of the poisonous snake. To know I do nothing is the wisdom of faith. You see? And let me...
Wisdom of?
Is the wisdom of faith. Faith. So let's look at this a little more closely, because this many times also creates confusion. You see? I do nothing when the sage says, it does not mean that we take the resolve to do nothing now. We are going to just sit in bed all day and do nothing. That is not what the sage is pointing to. You see? Because even to do nothing is a sense of doership. You see, I have decided to do nothing today, so I'm going to sit in bed all day, but we are doing the sitting in bed, or at least pretending to do the sitting in bed. That is still doership. So both of the ends of the spectrum, I am doing something or I am doing nothing, are both the pendulum of doership. The neutrality means that we remain the impersonal being, the unattached being, which is watching this play of this movie in whatever way the body has to move, others' bodies have to move, the mouth has to move. You see? So in this neutrality of neither something nor nothing, you see, is true non-doership. Just to take this witnessing perspective is non-doership. And you see, like I see this hand is moving now. You see, I'm not saying left hand, move finger, one finger. It's not like that. It's just happening. You see. So to see this more and more, that I am actually just enjoying this movie, and the movie is playing out by itself. And when I was younger and before I met Guruji, I did a lot of crazy experiments, and I find that they were very useful. So if you feel some confusion about this, sit and experiment. Say that, okay, I'm just going to witness and let's see if some action happens or not. And I remember a time where I said that I'm just going to watch. And I saw email was being sent. You see, all the natural functioning was happening. And truly my perspective was that just of the witnessing of this. So you see that when we look like this, without an intent, you see, to do or not to do, that is neutrality, that is non-doership. It is not moving from an active state to a passive state. Many in the recognition of non-doership, in even their worldly form, become much more active. So we cannot predict. And many just want to sit, which is also fine. So we cannot predict how the movement of these forms will happen upon the recognition that there is no individual doer of anything. So I do nothing should not translate into some sort of a passivity of not doing anything. Oh, I'm not the doer, so I have to do nothing now. That is also very strong doership actually. To say that I'm going to do nothing now is also very strong doership. We get attached to us not doing. You see? That is also doership. Say again.
So can one understand that as when you witness, when you're just staying as the seeing,
Yeah.
and if there's a movement, then because this thing is not moving, the seeing doesn't move. So if I see movement, then it has to be as a illusion. I mean, because I am not moving.
So, now some in the room are clear that all that is phenomenal is illusion, and some are feeling like, how can you call it an illusion? So at least we can say it is phenomenal, and therefore not inherently what I am. It is phenomenal.
Yeah, so it can only be, so in that sense there is no doer.
Yes, exactly.
In that sense there is no doer.
Yes, yes.
But if I put myself into this, then I'm a doer. I mean, if I...
Then you're posing as one.
Yeah, because there can't be any doing in the sense of, forget
Yes.
the doer,
Yes.
what am I going to do?
Yes. No movement.
Right?
For awareness is unmoved.
Because even the seeing, there's no doer. I mean,
Exactly.
it's just now you can verify that nobody is being aware.
Exactly.
Because even when I stay as the person, it becomes even clearer to me that the awareness is, I'm not being aware.
Yes.
From that point of view, I'm not being aware.
Yes.
Awareness,
Not doing awareness.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm not making an effort to,
Yeah, exactly.
from there. So their awareness just is.
Yes.
And it's not moving,
Yes.
and it's not having.
Exactly.
So this movement has to be some imaginary
Yes.
thing, and they can't be, there's no doer in awareness,
Exactly.
then there's no doer in
Yeah,
this
in
action
reality
as
at
well.
all, exactly. It's a good way to put it. Yes.
Is it?
Yes, of
If
course.
I kind of verify it like
Of
this
course.
for myself,
Of course.
is that the
It's
correct
very
way to
good.
verify?
It's very good. I like it very much.
Because sometimes it's like you're just being up here.
Yes.
I mean, you're not really
Exactly.
feeling it.
Yes.
Just
When you
thinking.
check like this, it's very good. That reminds me of an important point. Because our habit has become to make this effort to try and sustain personhood. You see? We have come to this point where we start ignoring what is effortless here already. So we can take a few moments to just check what is here that needs no effort. What is here that needs no thought? Does my sense of existence now need to be reinforced with some ideas or concepts? And that which is aware even of existence, is it an effortful awareness? Are we keeping it up? Are we forcing ourselves to be aware? You see? And if you were to drop the effort, would we stop being aware? Now, I think when you have to follow this instruction, no, because that would also only the false needs effort. You will not get the truths. You are the truth. Not one step you have to take. Not one breath you have to take to come to the truth. Before your next thought comes, you are the truth. Before you decide what to do, it is already done. Therefore, when the sage says, stay here, and the sage says, just stay here, it only means don't go with your mental delusions. Staying here is not an effortful staying here. It is your most natural state. This is the self. This is God. This is the truth. And just as you're starting to get used to the silence now of not speaking, you will get used to this staying here. And as you get used to this staying here, you will find that there is nothing missing in this. There is no lack of any sort. All ideas of wanting something will dissolve. Stay here and allow all things to come and go in their own natural way. Notice that your heart continues to beat, your breath continues to flow. All that needs to be done is being done. The natural functioning of this realm continues. It does not need the intervention of the non-existent one. Let your attention also go completely. Don't force your attention to be somewhere specific. Don't try to control life with your attention. Let it go. And as you let it go, you will find that it comes naturally to rest. Taste your existence. Enjoy being. That is the purpose of this creation. Give the world the freedom that you desire for yourself. Allow everything to be as it is. It is in the giving of freedom that you find your own freedom. Have no idea about how life should be. Drop all conclusions about how life is. Drop all expectations because the truth is much greater than any expectation you might have of it. Your existence is the existence of the Supreme Lord. But in reality, you're even higher than that. It's time to stop chasing scraps and morsels in this phenomenal realm. Meet me here where we are one. Meet me here where the universe is just a tiny firefly. Meet me here before time and space. Meet me where meeting me is to meet yourself. How long do you want me to hear you as Arjuna, lamenting on the state of your life? When do I get to meet you as Krishna, the light of this universe? Let's meet as one. May the Sadguru's grace will it to be so. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. we can allow this silence to deepen and to grow. Because a large part of our doership, what to do next, is about what to say next. So as this whole concern of what to say is being taken up, you'll find a deeper reserve for your contemplation, for your inquiry. We are not going to the mind now for what words should come out of this mouth. It is usually from this point onwards that many of you might start finding some energetic release happening. All that to happen, caught up in all that. A simple allowing for everything to be released. But don't start making any stories about them. Thank you all so much for being in Satsang today. Sadhguru Shri Muji Ji ki Jai. Are you broadcasting video?